What up, YouTube? Alaix coming back at you with another Starcraft 2 replay. On the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have our red Protoss player, Maneater. On the top left-hand side of the map, we have our blue Terran player, Rufus. Hi, Mr. Master. As we can see, this is a Master-level Terran player going against our Diamond-level Protoss player, so this should be an interesting game. We do have a bit of an early scout by Rufus. I wanted to say this was an early scout, but these are two SCVs making their journey all the way down to the other side of the map. I suspect this is going to be a double proxy barracks play, is what I think. In fact, it does look like that's what it's going to be. We do have a gateway here. Oh my gosh, is he going to see this? Oh no! Just barely misses sight of this barracks here. Maneater still doesn't know what's happening just yet. Two barracks being thrown down. He did pass that SCV on the way up, so he does see that there was an SCV that did leave the main base of the Terran player. Maneater shortly going to discover that something fishy's going on here. It sees that there's no wall. Very slight pause on that probe. Doesn't really know what's going on yet. Is doing a great job at checking the rest of the main base here just in case there's a hidden barracks, but unfortunately there is not. We do have Reapers coming out of this barracks right now. Maneater does throw down the Nexus despite seeing that there's a proxy. Scouting in the opposite direction of the proxy. Oh no. Rufus throwing down a bunker behind this base, just out of sight for Maneater. Rufus doing a great job at hiding these buildings. Man. Okay, first Reaper coming in. No Stalker or any sort of army unit on the way just yet. These are very vulnerable probes. Great reaction time by Maneater. Tries to briefly get the surround on that Reaper, but doesn't quite get it. Is throwing down a shield battery, which will help, but it's not even halfway done yet. Does lose that probe just by the ramp here. This Stalker is almost done. It will help out a lot in defending this. Maneater, decent control at keeping these probes alive. The betrayal. These Reapers just grenading themselves into a ball of probes and a Stalker. Losing those, that helped a lot for Maneater. There is a Reaper here in this bunker behind the Nexus. This is going to be frustrating to deal with. Another Reaper coming into the base here. They may be able to snipe this Stalker. Stalker running for its life towards the shield battery here. Does manage to save it. We have a second Stalker out. Probably will not be able to snipe this Reaper. They don't quite get it. They're just too fast. Now we have them in this bunker again. This is so frustrating for Maneater. Slowly poking away at this Nexus. Reaper's not the best units in regards to destroying buildings, so Maneater does have some time to react to this if he doesn't extend himself. This shield battery almost done, but we have two more Reapers coming in. He might get the surround on these Stalkers. Stalker low in health, but high in shields, does survive. Now we have the shield battery, which will keep these Stalkers alive. No HP lost on this Nexus, but it is almost down in shields, which will eventually regenerate, so not a huge deal so far for Maneater. He is going to see if he can take care of these proxies, but we do have quite a bit of Reapers here, and these Stalkers are softened up. One barracks on its way home. This is a lot of Reapers to deal with. They may be able to snipe a Stalker here. In fact, they do. Maneater has to be careful about keeping these units alive. This may be a very frustrating thing for Maneater to deal with if these Reapers start jumping between bases until Maneater has more Stalkers. This may force him to split his army and put himself at a disadvantage for dealing with what looks to be seven Reapers. Battery overcharge is being thrown down. Maybe able to snipe a Reaper. Does get one of the Reapers down. Both of these barracks are on their way home. So far, very solid hold by Maneater. That was that was an interesting opener by Rufus. I do like it though. That was very cool to see. We do have the factory here, and the extra command center, and a starport. So it looks like Rufus now going for the tech after throwing down some harassment. In hindsight, this may have not been the best move for Rufus because Maneater did hold this, and now he's ahead in bases. In terms of units, not super far ahead. We do have, you know, the 32 probes to the 28 SCVs, but this command center is finished. We'll be able to throw this down into the natural shortly. We do have a cyclone here hanging out on the ramp, although it doesn't look like Maneater has any intent of attacking super soon. We do have a probe going back towards the main base of our Terran player, possibly for a forward pylon. So it's actually looking like Maneater's going for a counter of his own. I'm surprised that these Reapers haven't been doing anything. They've just been sitting by the potential third base location of the Protoss player. I would like to see these being used for harassment. He built them for a reason, and now they're just hanging out, so that's an interesting move there. Pylon and a gateway. So double pylon reinforcing this gateway here. Maneater checking for the natural base. There is none. Not quite getting the snipe on that Cyclone, but does have Blink, managing to snipe that tank. Will get this Cyclone as well. Very strong pushback by Maneater here. Destroys that bunker with the Marines. We have another tank here. Immediate link right into the tank. Very strong counter. And this is what I was talking about. I'm not sure if that proxy did enough damage in the early game. We have a Protoss who's ahead in one base, managed to hold that and lose minimal workers, all things considered. Now forcing a worker pull from our Terran player. Macro just isn't able to keep up with the Protoss player here. He's in a very strong position. Destroyed that wall. Has a ton of stalkers here, which will be able to, yeah, blink micro away from this ball of workers here. Happily just melting through these SCVs. We do have the forward base here, or not forward base, sorry, the forward gateway along with the robotics facility. Interesting move. It looks like Maneater is retreating back home after breaking through to this base. We do have the Widow Mine here. It's possible he just didn't want to overextend just yet. We do have two Liberators protecting this ramp here. Very frustrating unit to deal with defensively. These Stalkers do have Blink though, so they may be able to blink around this. Very good control here by Maneater, avoiding this this range on the Liberators, going towards the outer side of the ramp here. Throwing down more harassment, effectively locking the Terran in his own base right now, punishing this proxy play very well. Let's see what these Blink Stalkers have in store for us. I do think Maneater could probably just win the game right now if he wanted to. He is doing a great job at being careful with the survival of these Stalkers though, but economically he's just way ahead. Running on two bases. Rufus leaving the game. No GG. Leaving Maneater victorious. That was a very, very good reaction. This is my third game I'm casting of Maneater, and every time he just has a very good intuition about what he should do and how he should counter certain play styles. So that was a very fun game to watch. That double barracks proxy play, just missing it with that scout, but regardless, being able to hold that Reaper proxy very well, losing minimal workers in that early game, and ultimately throwing down that Nexus and being ahead in a base, just won him the game here. Rufus did not have the economy to keep up and put himself behind with that proxy play. So very fun game to watch. Anyway, that's it for me tonight. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider sending me some replays. My goal is to cast replays from the general ladder. A lot of casts cast pro games, so my goal is to cast games from a more wide range of players and skill sets. So casting from the general ladder, anywhere from bronze to masters, and the occasional pro game for sure, but currently my goal is to cast casual games from the ladder, because I think seeing these kinds of strategies are really fun, and I think there's a big variety in the casual ladder. So please send me some replays. My email will be down in the description, and if you feel so inclined, please leave me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.